Welcome back to Ultimate Combat Radio. Mike Stidham here, talking a little mixed martial arts. This segment is brought to you by Tim Goodwin, Chiropractic, located next door to the Treehouse Fitness Club on 12300 South in Draper. And now we actually have Tim in studio.
Hey.
Now, Tim, in the past, we've broadcast from out at the gym out there in Draper. It was easy for you to kind of pop on by. You get lost coming down here.
Yeah, just a little your directions, Mike Stidham directions on the southeast corner of some street down there.
And you made it, though.
Yeah, I made it.
Somehow
yes,
you
I did.
You did it. We're here, and I understand you've got an interesting topic to talk about. And first of all, I would kind of want to introduce this segment because I had sustained a separated shoulder, months ago, and I was just desperate, man. I'd tried so hard to just kind of get by with it, and it was impossible. And finally, you get older and you realize that you might need to seek some professional help. So I sought out Tim, and I hadn't spoken to him in a little while, and he was gracious enough to work me over for the last 3 months, and we're starting to see some really good progress.
Yeah.
So it's obviously this show I kind of want to share that with you. I'm sharing Tim with the world because he's been a lifesaver for me.
Well, thank you, Mike. Sports injuries is one of those things, especially in this arena, and I think the number one mistake athletes as fighters make is the common, I think it's going to go away. Yeah. I think that is the worst mistake to make, and we're sitting here with Josh, and he's like, oh, I had a slip disc, and that's what I was going to come on tonight and talk about is these disc-related injuries. Between the vertebrae, there's a little spongy cartilage pad in there, and it's called the disc. Now, the problem with the disc is that if that sucker swells, it's going to push on the nervous system. So I'm here to tell you guys that are listening, if you're getting numbness, you're getting some tingling, you're getting some weakness, that's a red flag. That's not like, let's see if that thing goes away. And you were in my office the other day, and I was talking to a football player, and I was thinking about, it's getting caught in that guillotine in practice and squeezing your way out of it, or fighting a way out of a rear naked choke. I understand if you're in the ring and you don't want to look like a wuss, and tap out fast, that's one thing. But when you're training on a regular basis and you're trying to squeeze out of those in particular two moves, you're going to really stretch that neck. Anytime that chin goes forward towards your chest, you're very vulnerable of injuring a disc. And when you injure that disc, that's not just going to go away. That's going to start getting worse and worse and worse.
I always tell people when they come into the gym, check your ego at the door, man, because we're here to train. And if somebody puts you in a guillotine, it was a tight guillotine, man, tap. Because you know what? Then we're going to start again, and then maybe you'll get him in one. And that's really the way you should train. When you're in a fight, that adrenaline's going to carry you through getting out of that. And, of course, we want to learn how to escape those moves, and you can drill those escapes. But there is no reason in training to sit there and try to crane your neck to a point that you're going to get out of it just because your ego won't let you tap.
And it's so true. And, you look at it from a fitness perspective, I don't think there's any other better fitness. I mean, all research is showing right now, long, slow cardio, walking on the treadmill is not going to do anything for a physique. The high-intensity, high-blast training, well, where else can you get that? We'll start going to a gym and start training some mixed martial arts. We talked about the training you were dealing with down there on Saturday. That's high-intensity training, and all the research is showing right now, if you want to lose weight, build muscle, my thing is that, do you get results in the mirror? Most people I see training all the time, they look the same, Every 2 weeks to 3 weeks, you should be getting results in the mirror. If you're not getting results in the mirror, it goes back to what I say, physical, emotional, chemical. What are you bringing in your body? I look around all the time, everyone's sucking down energy drinks, Energy drinks, I'm here to tell you, they're one of the worst things you can do. You got two little glands that sit over top of your kidneys called adrenal glands. As a fighter, you're dumping a lot of adrenaline in your system. You want to be supporting your adrenal glands. So the last thing you want to be doing is sucking down a ton of energy drinks because they're going to burn up those adrenal glands. So you want to support that. You also want to be getting that proper rest. And I think rest as hard as you train. That's a hard one. I have fighters, I won't mention any names, but, very injured young lady I see a lot. And it's just one of those things. She's just into it. I see that drive and that push that fighters have. But you got to be smart. You got to develop a plan that says, hey, I'm eating correctly, I'm training correctly, and unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, you got to get some body work. I mean, body work is essential.
Right. Well, let's back up a minute because you were talking about energy drinks being bad for you. What about Krispy Kreme?
Krispy Kreme is good for you. If you need to go up
They're
a weight
so
class,
delicious,
definitely.
Man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I ate 6 of them last night.
Well, there you go. 6
and
of them.
When you say you see a difference in the mirror, I saw a difference in the mirror.
Yeah, again, okay. So we talk about insulin. That's the thing that pops out to me, and that's a big thing. If you're spiking insulin late at night, you're going to stop natural growth hormones. So the last thing you want to try to do if you're going to do Krispy Kremes, don't do them at night. Do them at 11 o'clock.
I did them at night, and I ate some Haagen-Dazs kind of to wash it down.
Yeah, of course.
You talk about energy drinks and not to use them for the energy. What can a fighter use to keep that energy up, because I mean we get tired. It's hard to do it day in, day out, and work a job. And what can you do for a good source of energy?
Well, to get a good source of energy, most people are skipping too many meals, and I think I said it before. You got to be eating all day long, and it really comes down to the timing of when you're going to train and working it backwards. Making sure you wake them up in the morning. First thing you do is you drink a glass 8 ounces of water. Second thing I teach is you eat raw almonds, because that makes the pancreas not secrete sugar all day long. You've got to be
almonds,
eating
is that what you said?
raw almonds, because you don't want to bring sugar in the morning, because if you do, all of a sudden your pancreas dumps a lot of insulin right then, and then you're going to have insulin spikes. Energy is all about.
What about all that breakfast cereal? That's all sugar, right?
They don't eat out of a box either, that's the thing. I mean, so there's a lot. But so for energy, B vitamins. Get a good B vitamin, okay? And that's going to beef you up, I think, more than anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
You totally just killed me, man. I can't eat my breakfast cereal.
And one day we'll have a long segment on what to do's and don'ts, and maybe we'll get it up on your Facebook so we can really put some nutrition on for fighters to do. But eating, you are what you eat, and as a fighting, as hard as you train, I think I'd say about 20% of the fighters I think are eating, or professional athletes of that, are eating the way they're supposed to be eating.
I noticed you kind of glossed over it. We got about 30 seconds to kind of wrap. So you mentioned getting body work done. That's such an important thing, and that's not a self-promoting thing. You're a chiropractor, obviously, but I got to tell you, it's got such a benefit to it.
You have to. It's like if you're a race car, do you think they have a pit? They do. So think of your body as a race car. Get a pit tune-up. Change the oil. It's a must.
Tim Goodwin, thank you so much for coming on the show once again. A wealth of knowledge. We got Tito Ortiz on the show next week. You got to tune in for that. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Radio.